You have exactly 3 seconds before your own mind sabotages you. 3 seconds between the moment you think about doing the work and the moment your brain invents a brilliant, logical excuse to do absolutely nothing. If you miss that window, you lose the day. I am going to show you how to hijack those 3 seconds and execute a psychological override. It will force your body to move, force your hands to type, and force your mind to execute the exact task you have been avoiding for weeks. You will know exactly how to bypass the invisible wall standing in front of you. But you need to listen to me very carefully. If you use this trigger right now without understanding why your brain froze in the first place, you are going to damage your system. You will fry your dopamine receptors. You will create a loop of extreme anxiety. And tomorrow, your paralysis will be twice as strong. You must understand the diagnosis before you apply the cure. So do not look away. Look at your screen. Think about the project you are avoiding. You know exactly what to do. You have the skills, you have the time, you have the tools. Yet, you are sitting there, completely frozen. And because you are frozen, you hate yourself. You call yourself lazy. You call yourself undisciplined. You lie in bed at night thinking there is a fundamental flaw in your character. Let me stop you right there. You are not lazy. You are not stupid. You are not unmotivated. You are experiencing a hardware failure. Your biological operating system is crashing because it is running a survival protocol that was designed for the jungle, not for the modern world. To fix the machine, we have to open the hood. Millions of years ago, your brain developed a highly sophisticated alarm system to keep you alive. When our ancestors walked into the tall grass and saw a predator, the brain had to make a split-second decision to ensure survival. It gave the body 3 primitive options: fight, flight, or freeze. If the predator was small and weak, you fight. If the predator was slow and you had a clear path, you run. But if the predator was deadly, fast, and overwhelming, you freeze. You play dead. You drop your heart rate. You stop moving entirely, and you hope the threat loses interest and walks away. This is the freeze response. It is a biological shutdown designed to protect you from catastrophic harm. Now, fast forward to today. You are sitting in a comfortable chair, in a safe room, looking at a glowing rectangle. There are no predators hiding in your office, but you have a deadline. You have an ambitious project. You have a task that requires a massive amount of cognitive energy and carries the severe risk of failure or judgment. Your amygdala, the primitive alarm bell in your head, cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and a psychological threat. It scans the difficult task, calculates the high energy cost, anticipates the potential for social rejection, and it hits the panic button. Suddenly, your nervous system is flooded with stress hormones. Your brain demands a survival response. But look at your situation. You cannot fight the work. You cannot physically punch your laptop or wrestle your tax forms to the ground. You cannot flee. You cannot just run out of your front door, abandon your life, and live in the woods. Fighting is impossible. Fleeing is impossible. So, what is the absolute only option left for your primitive brain? Freeze. You freeze. You stare at the screen. The cursor blinks at you like a countdown. Your chest feels tight. A heavy fog rolls over your prefrontal cortex. You want to move your hands, but they feel like lead. This is your nervous system actively paralyzing you to protect you from what it perceives as a fatal threat. You are literally playing dead in front of your computer. But it gets worse. Your brain knows you cannot sit there doing nothing forever. So, to relieve the anxiety, it initiates a sabotage protocol. It tricks you into doing fake work. This is where you fall into the most dangerous trap of the modern worker, the dopamine trap of preparation. Since you cannot do the actual work, you decide to get ready to do the work. You clean your desk. You align your pens perfectly. You open a new tab and spend 45 minutes researching the absolute best software to manage your tasks. You buy a new premium leather notebook. You rewrite your to-do list using 3 different colors of highlighters to categorize your priorities. You watch a 20-minute video on morning routines. You convince yourself that tomorrow, when the environment is flawless, you will finally execute. And as you do these things, something sinister happens in your brain. A chemical release, a rush of dopamine. Your brain rewards you. It gives you the exact same chemical satisfaction as if you had actually completed the difficult project. You feel a surge of accomplishment. You feel organized. You feel in control of your life. But it is a complete hallucination. You have not moved a single inch. You have just spent 2 hours running on a treadmill, congratulating yourself for the vast distance you traveled. You generated the emotion of progress without producing any actual results. This is the poison of preparation. You think you are being a responsible professional because your environment is optimized and your calendar is color-coded. You are lying to yourself. You are not optimizing anything. You are hiding. Over-preparation is just procrastination in a suit and tie. It is a highly sophisticated defense mechanism designed entirely to protect your fragile ego. As long as you are getting ready, you cannot fail. As long as you are researching, nobody can criticize your work. You get the emotional reward of working hard without ever taking the risk of stepping into the arena. The modern productivity industry feeds on this illness. They sell you endless tools, applications, and complex frameworks because they know you are deeply addicted to the feeling of getting ready. But the cold, brutal truth is this: clarity does not come from planning. Clarity comes from action. Every single minute you spend preparing beyond the absolute bare minimum is a minute you are letting the freeze response win. You are feeding the paralysis. You are training your brain that the task is so terrifying, so overwhelmingly dangerous, that you need a perfect environment just to look at it. You are reinforcing the fear. You have built an invisible wall around your work, made of notebooks, apps, and endless research. And now you are trapped behind it. You know exactly what to do, but you have made the act of doing it impossibly heavy. To break this cycle, we have to destroy the wall. We have to change the laws of physics inside your mind. We have to stop trying to force you through the friction and start eliminating the friction entirely. Because once you understand how gravity actually works in your brain, you will realize why your current strategy was always doomed to fail. To understand how to break this paralysis, you have to understand the physics of human behavior. Your brain is like a droplet of water on a piece of glass. It will always, without exception, follow the path of least resistance. Think about your smartphone for a second. Why is it so incredibly easy to lose 3 hours scrolling through short videos, but it feels physically painful to spend 3 minutes writing the introduction to your project? It is not because the videos are genuinely important to you. It is because the friction is absolutely zero. There is no cognitive cost to swiping your thumb. The environment is perfectly designed to remove all resistance. Now look at your work. Look at the project you are actively avoiding. The friction is massive. You have to sit down. You have to open the software. You have to remember where you left off. You have to face the overwhelming possibility of making a mistake. Your brain calculates this mountain of friction, compares it to the zero friction of your phone, and the survival protocol kicks in. It chooses the path that conserves energy. It chooses the path that avoids the threat. So, how do most people try to fix this? They try to increase their motivation. They watch another video. They try to hype themselves up to jump over the massive wall of friction. But motivation is just a feeling, and feelings are fundamentally unreliable. You cannot build a functioning system on a foundation of changing emotions. The secret is not to increase your force. The secret is to completely destroy the wall. You do not need more willpower. You need less friction. You have to make the entry point of your work so ridiculously small, so completely non-threatening, that your primitive brain does not even register it as a task. This brings us to the cure. This is the 3-second override I promised you. It is a mechanical bypass for your nervous system. It does not rely on how you feel. It relies on the simple laws of physics and momentum. When you are sitting there, frozen, staring at the screen, your brain is caught in a loop of overthinking. It is running simulations of all the potential failures and exhausting you before you even begin. You cannot think your way out of an overthinking loop. You have to move your way out. The override is a physical command designed to beat the sabotage window. You look at the very first micro step of your task, not the whole project, just the absolute first physical action, opening the document, picking up the pen. Then, you count backwards from 3, 2, 1. You are literally racing against your own excuses. And on 1, you move your physical body before the sabotage protocol finishes loading. You do not give your brain time to argue. You do not debate the difficulty of the task. The moment you hit 1, you execute the physical motion. Why does this work? Because physical action immediately alters your neurochemistry. The freeze response is shattered the moment momentum begins. Your amygdala realizes that you are not dead, that the threat is not fatal, and the panic protocol begins to power down. The hardest part of any monumental task is never the middle. It is always the transition from doing nothing to doing something. The transition is where all the friction lives. But here is the critical rule. When you use the 3-second override, you must lie to your brain. You must commit to doing the task for only 5 minutes. Tell yourself that after 5 minutes, you are fully allowed to stop and walk away. This lowers the psychological stakes to 0. A 5-minute commitment is not a threat. It does not trigger the alarm system. But what happens 99% of the time? Once you cross the 5-minute mark, the friction vanishes. The invisible wall is gone. The physics reverse. Suddenly, it becomes harder to stop working than it is to continue. You have successfully hacked the system by removing the entry cost. To make this permanent, however, you have to make a brutal sacrifice. You have to kill a piece of your identity. Right now, you take pride in being a thinker. You take pride in being a planner, a strategist, a perfectionist. You wear your incredibly high standards like a badge of honor. But your high standards are exactly what is keeping you paralyzed. Perfectionism is not a virtue. It is the ultimate form of cowardice. It is a sophisticated defense mechanism designed to ensure you never put anything out into the world that can be judged. You have to stop being a thinker and become an executor. The world does not care about your perfectly color-coded plans. The market does not care about your brilliant ideas that only exist inside your head. The world only rewards execution. A flawed, ugly, messy project that is actually finished is infinitely more valuable than a perfect masterpiece that you never even started. You have to embrace the mess. You have to accept that the first draft will be terrible. You have to give yourself permission to produce garbage, because producing garbage is the only way to get the engine running. You know exactly what you need to do. The map is already in your hands. The diagnosis is clear. You are not broken, you are just running the wrong biological code. You have the 3-second override. You know how to drop the friction. You know that excessive preparation is poison. There is absolutely nothing left for you to research. There is no more information on the internet that will save you. The time for consumption is completely over. I am going to end this transmission right now. Do not click on another video. Do not open another tab. Do not check your phone. Close this window. Look at the task. 3, 2, 1, move.